Greetings! In this week's episode of Area 66 Declassified, I'm going to discuss the similarities and differences between wikis, Google Docs, and blogs. Then we'll take a look at how you might use each one of these tools in your classroom. First up, let's take a look at some of the similarities and differences. Wikis, Google Docs, and blogs are three different web-based tools that you have at your disposal to use in your classroom. Wikis are a web page that allows multiple authors to add content, and it creates a page that everybody can access. Wikis kind of present content using tags and menus, and they allow for many-to-many communication. What that means is you can have multiple teachers or even multiple students go together and create one page that then anybody can access. Now, wikis can be both closed or open, meaning you can control, does everybody have access to the content on them? Can everybody edit them? Or do only select people have the ability to edit and only select people have the ability to read it? Wikis then are best used as a place to stock information. Google Docs, on the other hand, allows for just one or multiple authors to create documents. Instead of using tags, Google Docs lets you organize files into folders. In this way, it's more similar to the file system on a computer than it is a web page. Google Docs really excels when collaboration comes into play. Google Docs can be closed or open. You have more fine-grained controls over who has access to edit and view the documents that you create. And Google Docs is really good at content creation. You can think of Google Docs as a replacement for Pages or Word, but one that adds in the ability to have multiple people edit a document at the same time. Now, when we think of blogs, generally we think of a website that has just a single author that creates posts that are little articles that stand alone. And these posts are displayed in chronological order. This allows for one-to-many communication where one person is communicating with multiple people who are viewing the website. The interactivity in blogs comes from the use of comments, where readers can add their own thoughts to the author's post. And blogs are best used as a flow of information where you have one person trying to communicate their opinions or ideas to the rest of the world. Now, we just talked about blogs. Let's talk about when you could use a blog. Well, blogs are great when you want to update a site with frequent individual posts of information or events. If you were having a classroom, you might make a blog in order to showcase some of the different things that you're doing. You can also use blogs if you'd like to have an online journal, and it does allow for discussions between users about individual posts. If we take a look at a couple examples of blogs here, you might have a classroom blog like Mr. Carlson's kindergarten blog, where you have students go and make posts, and then those students can respond to other people's thoughts and ideas. So notice this is one person creating a post and then having other people respond to it. You might have a classroom blog where, as a teacher, you post the ideas about what's happening in your classroom, and you could have parents view, and they'll use the blog as a way to stay up to date about the happenings. When we look at wikis, they're going to be used to host a database of information that can be accessed by multiple users. Wikis create an environment where you can share information. What's nice to think of a wiki is think of this as a collaboration tool where you build a website that everybody has access to and everybody can contribute to. The most famous example of a wiki is Wikipedia, where it's a storehouse of information that everybody has contributed just a little bit to, but everybody can still go and access. A good example of a wiki here is one that the U.S. History team at Westside High created, and they actually use this wiki as their course management page. All of the different teachers got together and they all have the ability to add information. Documents and pages are linked through the use of tags. So if I click here, this Reform and Great Depression link, it'll give me a list of all of the documents they've created with the different tag, Spring Unit 1. I can see that there's multiple people editing and editing the documents. And when I go into a different page, I can see that I can host PDF files. If I go back here, I can have directions that I give students. And so I can see here I have directions that I can give students. I can host Keynote files. I can have videos that play. And so wikis just give me a quick and easy way to have multiple people create a great looking web page that you can use in your class. Google Docs then is something you want to use when you want to really collaboratively create content. It's also good if you want to have access to all of your files from anywhere in the world. Since Google Docs is web-based, you're not tied to a particular computer. Any device that you have internet access with, be it an iPad, an iPod, a cell phone with internet access, or a computer, you have access to all of the files that are in Google Docs. Here's an example of a way you could use Google Docs. Notice that it's set up like a computer where you have files, and inside of those, you have folders, and inside of those folders you have individual files. You can see that different people can edit it, and Google Docs is a great way to do some team planning. If you're working with students or you're working with a team, Google Docs can be used to collaboratively build a report. So you might use it where you have different teachers go in and create a calendar for a particular course. You maybe have it where students work on writing a story together and then they give comments about each other's work as they're writing. And so Google Docs is great to think of as a complement or a replacement for Pages or Word that you can have multiple people edit at the same time. So that, in a nutshell, is a quick breakdown between wikis, Google Docs, and blogs, and how you might use each in the classroom. Thank you.